Jai Maa Kamakhya, Jai Maa Tara, Jai Bhairava. So today, this video will be about the upcoming Navaratras that are going to start very soon in the month of March. As we are already aware that there are many changes that are happening in the world around us, whether in terms of wars, in terms of uncertainties, various kinds of very problematic combination of grahas that are coming together, etc. But leaving all that aside, let them let whatever happen, because there is always a karmic load on the world, and when a certain threshold is reached, then naturally these kind of incidents, uh, this kind of powerful calamitic incidents, difficult times anyway start. So in this, considering all these factors together in terms of the grahas and other energies present, there are two main upasanas, broad forms of the Divine Mother, whose upasana is very useful, especially for people who have been connected to the Kamakhya Bhairav Foundation and doing sadhanas that I have been, giving you through the videos, and also participating in the Vishesh sadhanas and the Bhairava japas that happen every month. So, which incidentally, for the last few times, the number of japas have crossed 1 crore consistently, which I think is fantastic, because we all need the blessings of Bhagavan Bhairava in the coming times, as I've mentioned many times before also. So now, for this upcoming Navratri, and the dates and specifications, timing of start, etc., will all be mentioned in the description of the video by the team that handles my social media. So two specific forms of sadhana is very crucial in this phase. The first, the primary, is worship of Durga, any form of Durga. And the second is worship of Tara. These two forms are very crucial. As we all know, I have already given Durga Upasanas earlier. So this will be a variation of that, not too different from it, but something that can benefit given the current circumstances. At the end of the day, even if you change the Upasana Paddhati a little bit, it does not make much difference if you are a consistent Upasak of that deity. This choice, of course, is yours as the as the sadhaka. You can decide that which form you want to worship in this time, depending on what sadhanas you have done and whom you feel a stronger contact with. So the first, so Durga, as we know, the name itself signifies a force, a being who cannot be unassailable. So it's like a fort. It's like a defines a protection that is unbreachable. No force in the world can break through a protective realm that is created by this terrific Mahashakti we call Durga. And in the process, we have over time, there is many iterations of Durga Upasana that has happened, to the extent that today the most popular mantra, or the format in which Durga is worshipped broadly in the form of Chamunda, also links to the Navarna mantra, where we have already the potencies of Mahakali, Mahalakshmi and Mahasaraswati inherent. The three most fundamental Shaktis that govern the universe or the world in our realm of existence. So the first sadhana is kind of simple in the sense you do a Ghatastapan of Durga. Ghatastapan Paddhatis, etc., will be mentioned below. It is largely similar to the Ghatastapan that of Maa Durga that was already given through these through the videos and channels earlier. Similar way, you have to do the Ghatastapan. After it is done, you create an Akhanda Diya, if you can, for 9 days. If Akhanda Diya is not possible, then every day light a Diya. Chant the 108 chant 108 times the 32 names of Maa Durga daily for a period of 9 days. Repeating again the 32 names of Durga, which are extremely protective, extremely powerful, a copy of which you can find in any of the Durga Saptashati texts at the end. These have to be chanted 108 times every day. Now you can do the chanting in one sitting, or you can do the chanting like part of it in the morning, part at night, or if you want a more intense experience, then it is good to start the chanting around 9 at night and continue in one sitting. If you need to take a break, yes, you can. I mean, if your legs are paining, if it's not possible, then of course you need to take a break, 5-10 minutes, that is fine. And then complete the whole chant of 108 times these 32 names. These 32 are so powerful, they create an extremely potent uh, aura and shield around the Upasaka, protecting him or her from various kinds of dangers, or at least reducing the intensity of the danger. So this has to be done for a period of 9 days, following all the normal niyamas of the anusthana, which means if it's possible to do at the same time, that is ideal. If you cannot do at the same time, by same time I mean same time every day. If you can't do same time every day, then do it whatever time it's possible for you. uh, Offer some naivedyam, keep a diya, and once the ghata is established in front, then there is a basic ghata sthapana. There's an initial day, first day when you do the ghata sthapana puja, and the other days you do some basic pujas and then continue. So all this will be mentioned in the ghata sthapana document related to Maa Durga that will be linked in the description of this video, as well as along with this 32 names. After you finish 108 times chanting of these names, then again, if you need to take a break for 5-10 minutes, you can do that, but end it with a chant of one mala of that very famous sloka from the Durga Saptashati, Sharanagata Dinartha. That whole sloka has to be chanted 108 times. This chanting can be done in a Rudraksha mala, it can be done as Sphatik mala, or even better, if you can do it in a red coral mala or an Rakta Chandan mala or a red Hakik mala. But otherwise, the Rudraksha mala is also good enough. And if there is one specific mala you use for all sadhanas, you can do that, no problem with it. So after you do this for a period of 9 days, the energy that you generate from this sadhana is taken up by the various parivaras and the deities that are connected to Durga, because Durga is not a form that comes alone. She comes with her whole pantheon of other beings. And then on the 9th day, after you complete this, or 8th day or 9th day or 10th day, either of 3 days is fine to do it, try and visit any Devi temple close by and make an offering of a coconut, some kumkum, agarbatti, diya. If you want more, you can also donate a vastra, masari or something, but it's not compulsory. And also a little bit of dakshina into the temple. You can put it in the temple hundi or to any of the priests. And then you mention to the deity, mention to any form of Devi is fine, and tell her that you did this upasana to the best of your abilities, and if there are any errors, may those be mistaken. May the protection of Maa Durga remain with you and your close people. Along with it, you will also have to do a feeding of a little girl, at least one girl. If you can't find anything in the area that you live anywhere, then perhaps donate to any kind of a charity or a foundation that looks after poor little girls or orphans, something like that. If you are able to do homas, if you know how to do homas, uh, then it is very good practice after the 9 days of recitation is over to complete a homa of this 32 names. You cannot do the full homa in one shot. You will need to do it in 3-4 days time, because you need to put in an ahuti of at least 100 recitations. So this is basically done in the way that suppose there are 32 names, so every 2 lines you can add a swaha and you can add ahutis into the fire. If that is not possible, even another way is that you write down those 32 names and you add Om to the name and then end the name with a swaha. Change the change the name into the correct grammatical format and then do it. This is one way of doing it. I will ask the team to also write down the names in that format so that it's easier for people to do it. Otherwise, if you don't know how to do a homa, skip the homa part. But if you're doing a homa, if you have the capacity, then it's a very good idea to do the homa, not just one homa, But basically, since you have done it for 9 days, so you will need to at least put in one tenth of that into the as ahutis into the fire. That means that uh, close to 100 recitations of that stuti has to be uh, given as ahutis into the fire, and that cannot be done in one day because it will be a very extensive homa. So you can break it up over a period of 5-10 days as per your convenience, or if homa is difficult, skip the homa part entirely. Anyway, you have a akhanda diya or a diya at least, that itself takes care of this part. But ensure that there is, at the end of the anushthan, end of the puja, you go to any temple and you offer the things that I mentioned, and also you feed at least one little girl. If you cannot do that, then you can donate to an organization that does that feeds or takes care of poor girls, and feeds them, etc. This is the first sadhana. The second upasana that you can do is same way, do a ghatastapan, and the nitya puja of the ghat as mentioned in the document, do that. After you finish the ghatastapan process of Durga, you chant one chapter of the Durga Saptashati. And before you chant the 13, you start from right at the beginning, the Kavacham, then the Argala Stotram, then the Kilakam, then 13 chapters of the Durga Saptashati, like this. So basically 13 plus 3, so there are total 16, say 16 parts that you will have to chant. And this has to be distributed over a period of 9 days. So basically, you can start with maybe the first day you can do, when you start, you can do the chant of the uh, Kavacham, Kilakam, and the Argala Stotram. Next day you may do chapter 1. Next day you may do chapter 2 and 3. It's entirely up to the Upasaka how he or she wants to distribute this whole set in a phase of 9 days. So some days you can do more than one chapter, some days you do minimum of one chapter. So like this. So basically it starts with the Kavach, Kilak, Argala, and then the 13 adhyayas of the Durga Saptashati, part by part over a period of 9 days. After you finish the daily recitation of the Durga part, whatever amount you're doing, so it could be just one chapter or it could be just the Argala Stotram as it is, then you chant the Kunjika Stotram 27 times. Kunjika Stotram has to be chanted 27 times. After you finish the Kunjika Stotram, then one mala of Sharanagata Dinartha, that sloka. This mala chanting can be done with any mala, whether it's Rudraksha, whether it's Sphatika, or whether it's a red coral or a red hakik or a Rakta Chandan mala. Or if there is any specific mala that you use for all pujas, you can use that. No problem. So this completes your daily sadhana of Maa Durga in this particular paddhati. So every day you do start with one chapter of the Durga Saptashati. Immediately then you start the 27 recitations of the Kunjika Stotram, and then you do one mala japa of that particular sloka, and with that you finish the puja of that day. So like this, if you complete the sadhana for 9 days, then you must visit any temple of Devi and offer a coconut, some kumkum, agarbatti, dakshina, and if possible a sari, but that's entirely up to you, it's not compulsory. uh, And then you tell the deity there that yes, you have done the sadhana to the best of your ability, and may her protection be with you during these difficult times that we are facing globally anyway. If you're able to do homas again, then do one mala of homa of that sloka, basically. That sloka, in fact, this question comes in often. So for people who are more accustomed to doing sadhana, they will feel the necessity to do that particular sloka chanting more than one mala, which is perfectly all right. If you want to do 2-3 malas, that is also okay. Minimum is one mala. At the end of the 9 days, then if you are doing a homa, then you do a homa with that sloka, one mala of that sloka. Again, here you can do one mala ahutis or you can do 3 mala ahutis. Very simple ghee satvik homa, ghee ahutis. Nothing complicated basically. So uh, offer offerings to be done in the temple after the 9 days, feeding of one little girl minimum, and homa if you're capable. If you're not capable, leave the homa part. So there are many questions in this context that come regarding what homas to be done. So homa documents take their time, because we need to be very thorough that what processes to add. So there are, if you do a very traditional homa, there are 1 million processes that need to be added. Each of them may not be necessary. However, there's a broad structure that should be kept intact. At the same time, remember that Homa is an auxiliary process that helps you in the path of sadhana. It by itself is not a standalone process that should be done, because if you do it continuously over periods of time, it is not recommended by any legitimate process or sampradaya, or any, for that matter, well-established parampara. It has its own repercussions if you don't balance it out with sufficient amount of japa, or the when you do japa, basically you are activating the Vayu Tattva, and also from there the Akash Tattva. If these are not activated properly, blindly doing homas can have its own counter repercussions. So therefore, it is strictly advised that homas, if you are doing in the paddhatis that I mentioned, you have to do it only after you complete the sadhana of those 9 days. So this, in both these two cases, though, on the Ashtami, on the time of uh, Sandhi Kala, it is very good to give lemon balis. At least 3 lemons should be there. Minimum 3. You can give 9 also. 3 is the minimum. So basically, it's very simple. Keep 3 lemons. Keep a knife that has not been used in the kitchen or that you use for bali, and then put some kumkum. And then you tell, during the Sandhi Kala, basically, the form of Durga changes to Chamunda. And that is basically around, if you know the Durga Saptashati, that is the 7th Saptam and the Ashtam Adhyaya, when Devi manifests in the tremendously powerful Swaroopa of Chamunda. And Chamunda is that kind of a form who requires Bali. Whether it is Sattvic Bali or whether it's any other kind of Bali, but Bali is absolutely needed. And I don't mean the Vedantification of Bali, where it just means a very organic inner process. No, that's not the primary recommendation of any Tantra. Mostly that is told in places where Tantra is not the main mode of Upasana. Anyway, in this case, you can give a bali of lemons. 3 lemons are good enough. You can just cut those lemons, imagining that all the problems are also being removed by them. And then after the lemons are cut, you can scoop them out and create diyas with those lemons. I mean, there's a very interesting process. After you scoop out a lemon, you can add a wick into it and put some ghee or oil and then light it. That's one way. Or these days, you can buy small, online, you can buy ghee diyas. You can put those ghee diyas into those cut lemons and then light them. Or very simply, after the lemons are cut, put 1 kapoor on each of them and just light them, and then meditate at that time. And meditate and meditate with whatever sadhana you're doing. So if you're doing the 32 names of Maa Durga, then meditate with those 32 names. If you're doing the other sadhana that I mentioned, where the main heart of the sadhana is the Kunjika Stotram, then meditate with the Kunjika Stotram. Because that time, the very important 2 aspects are there in the Sandhi Kala. One is the offering of bali, one is the offering of lamps or diyas. So basically, after you do the lemon bali, the good part of lemon bali is that you can make the lemons into lamps and then offer, and then sit and do your dhyana and meditation. If someone is very deeply into Durga Upasana and steady enough, then you might consider, it is not compulsory, you might consider offering 54 lemon balis. 54. If you give 54, that is, therefore, you cut them into pieces and put diyas into them. So there will be like 108 small lamps, because each lemon cuts into 2 parts. So therefore, 108 diyas or 108 kapoor or lights will be formed. But this is only if you are capable. It's not at all compulsory to do this. Minimum is 3 lemon bali. That's good enough. So these 2 sadhanas, for those who are interested in Maa Durga Upasana, can do either of these sadhanas, and both of them are extremely powerful, extremely potent, and they will help you to pass through this complicated graha combination that we are passing through right now, and will pass at other points in both this year and the next, and give you at least a cushion, an umbrella, spiritual umbrella, to protect you from the load of karmas of the world that we are anyway experiencing. So in this Navaratri, it is also important to do, for those who have been doing the Maa Tara sadhanas, especially connected to me and connected to Kamakhya Bhairava foundation, and who have done the 16 Thursday sadhanas once or multiple times, they might consider doing a more extensive Maa Tara Anushtan during this Navratra periods. Tara of all the Mahavidyas is the absolute mother, which means that she becomes a mother to Shiva. That means she becomes a mother to every deity, even deities, forget human beings. So she is the guiding force. She is the Guru Tattva, basically. The ultimate Guru of all Gurus is Tara. She takes an individual along the path, the difficult path of birth and death, and to the right station where he or she becomes ultimately free and happy. In order to do that, she takes three Swaroopas of Ugratara, Ekajata, Neela Saraswati and comes down into this plane and guides the Upasaka. She is very fierce deity, but at the same time, she is absolute mother, which means that she protects the Upasaka like no one else through the jungle of karmas. And even in difficult times, she helps one to cross over those times into a station where it is much better and easier uh, for the sadhak, especially when one looks back into the help that she provides. So, in this particular phase of time, also something that I mentioned right at the beginning when we were doing the 48-day annadanam, as well as the Vishesh offerings that we were making in Tarapit temple, uh, and the gathering that we had in Tarapit. So I had mentioned that this year specifically is very good for Tara Upasana, and if Maa Tara basic sadhanas, I'm not saying complicated tantric sadhanas, but those which are accessible to people, which also provide blessings and benefits, as is evident from the experiences of thousands of people who mail and inform how these sadhanas have been helpful for them. So again, on the first day of the Navaratra, keep a photo of Maa Tara. If you have been doing the Vishesh sadhanas, you would already have that. For people who have the feet of Maa Tara small, you can find from Tarapit. That's wonderful. If not, just the photo is good enough. Along with it, keep a photo of Kamakhya or Bamdev, who is the Mahasiddha, the Bhairava Swarupa, who is Bhairava in human flesh and blood, who without whom we would not have been able to access Maa Tara in the very friendly and motherly and the very organic way in which she is accessed across Eastern India today. Otherwise, she would have remained confined only to a very exotic devata who can be accessed to very complex tantric rites of the cremation ground only by a handful of people. From that station, Tara becomes a very easily accessible, at least to a large degree, by a lot of ordinary people. It is only because of the blessings of the life of Bhamakapa. Tara was his Ishtadevi. So keep two photos, one of Maa Tara, one of Bamdev. If you don't have a photo of Bamdev, you can at least get it printed maybe and then keep it. That is also fine. Offer 5 tattvas to the photo of Maa Tara. Any 5 things, similar to what you do in, somewhat similar to what you do during the 16th Thursday puja of Maa Tara. You can offer 5 flowers. You can offer, decorate as beautifully as you can, no problem. You can offer 5 tattvas in terms of Naivedyam, Dhoop, Deep, Naivedyam, etc., the Panchatattva that is offered. After this is done, offer at least 1 flower to Bamdev, and along with it, if possible, also a little bit of Ashtagandha, little bit of red kumkum, and some fresh vibhuti mixed together and put a tika on the photo of Bamdev. Simplest way of starting the puja. After this, you chant at least Om Bhairavaya Nama 3 malas. And when you chant Om Bhairavaya Nama, imagine that it is Bhamakhya to whom you are praying in the form of Bhairava. And you tell the deity, you pray to them that your sadhana of Maa Tara be successful. After this is done, very simply do a mental pranam to anybody whom you consider as your guru or the Guru Tattva in general, because Tara is the uh, ultimate deity who controls Brihaspati. And Brihaspati is lower, or Brihaspati is more materialistic manifestation, among other things, is also the Guru Tattva. But Tara is even beyond that. She is the Guru of all Gurus. She is beyond all Gurus. That is what her agency is. That's why she is the ability to pull an individual. She is not somebody who just gives you an advice. When she enters the life, she will reshape it into a better form, so that that is both conducive to fulfilling of innate desires while also progressing towards ultimate freedom and liberation, towards moksha, enlightenment, etc. So after you do this, 3 malas of Om Bhairavaya Namah Japa is done. Then chant the mantra of Maa Tara, which I have mentioned for the 16th Thursday. That mantra has to be done 36 malas, 36 malas of that mantra. You can do it, ideally, if you do it with a red mala, it is very good. So red mala means it could be red hakik, it could be Rakta Chandan mala, or red coral. Red coral, of course, is costlier, but red hakik or Rakta Chandan, if you can, then it's very good. If that's not possible, the next option is use a Rudraksha mala or any Rudraksha mala that you have been using. No need to buy a new mala. If there is already Rudraksha mala, you can use that. So after 36 malas are completed of the Maa Tara mantra, then chant the 108 names of Tara at least 5 times sitting there. After you chant the 5 times 108 names of Tara, then chant one mala of that famous Devi Stuti sloka that we have from the Durga Saptashati, Sharanagata Dinartha, that sloka, I will be mentioning it below. Chant that for one mala, which means 108 times, using the same mala that you have used for doing the Tara Japa. So basically, this last mantra helps to integrate that Shakti that you have generated through your Japa and benefit the Upasaka in terms of providing him guidance and protection. That sloka of Durga Saptashati is extremely popular. Even people who don't chant the Saptashati, who have some devotion towards Divine Mother, would be aware of that sloka, because it helps you to connect to the essence or the protective aspect of the great forces of the great Shaktis. Once this sadhana is completed for a period of 9 days, again, on the Ashtami Tithi, you can offer a bali. The bali can be of lemon. It could be 3 lemons. 3 lemons is good enough. Offer some kumkum on them. Mentally just say that these are offerings of bali during the Sandhi Kala. Sandhi Kala period will again be mentioned. And you cut the lemons. On them you put, either you scoop out and you create a diya out of that, or you just put kapoor on them. So 6 pieces of kapoor on the lemons, light them, and then meditate with that mantra that you are doing, the Mula mantra of Tara that you are chanting. By the way, this is not the Panchakshari of Tara. Repeating again, this mantra is, as I mentioned, comes from the Rudrahamal Tantra, and it is extremely potent and creates a very blissful experience for the Upasaka. Very, very blissful experience for any Upasaka who goes deeper into this mantra sadhana. After you finish this, you have to go to any temple close by of any Devi and make an offering of a coconut, some kumkum, agarbatti, diya, and if possible, vastram or a sari, but that's not compulsory. But other things you can just put a kumkum and a coconut, etc. And you tell the form of Devi, whoever is present, that you have done the Tara Upasana to the best of your ability. Once this is done, you will also have to feed at least one little girl. Again, as I mentioned in every single video related to Devi Sadhana, this is a mandatory part of the sadhana. It makes the sadhana complete. At least feeding one little girl. If you can't find that, then donate to any organization, any place where children are being fed, especially girls. Girl child is being fed. So you can donate to there also. That completes your sadhana. Additional to this, a very simple Tara Homa process can also be done. I will ask the team to make a simplistic document. Mind you, this is not the traditional Homa method of Tara, which is much more complicated, but this is basically a very simplified and sattvic Homa of Tara, because Maa Tara Homas require various other elements. Eventually, tantric aspects do come in and they create a stronger energy in Tara sadhana. However, for this particular instance, it is not something to be done regularly, but a very simplified method of offering this particular mantra into Agni in the form of Homa can be done. Simple steps will be written down. You can follow that. If you have done Homas, just follow those steps. Nothing complicated in this. At least 9 malas of Homa is to be done of this mantra. Same mantra. not 36, 9 malas of Homa has to be done. Okay. And if you think that Homa is not possible, suppose you are living in an environment where you cannot do any fire ritual, that is perfectly all right. No need to bother about it. Straight away do the other steps that I've mentioned. For people who are curious about offerings to be made in the temple of Tarapit, yes, you can do that online. If you have anybody known, that's perfectly all right. If not, you can just put the offerings, as I mentioned at the end, the coconut and the other things, to any Devi temple that is close by, and consider that that is only Tara, and this will work very well. If you have multiple Devi temples, then it's good to give it to any Kali or Durga temple, because it's our texts mention that Tara and Kali are very tightly linked, to the extent that anybody who makes a distinction between them may have to visit Naraka, hell. That is also mentioned in the Tantras. So they are very closely linked. There is some difference in the tattvas between them. As one experiences, then only one understands totally. Theory is one thing, experience is another thing. We are at that stage in the world where I feel personally that Tara Upasana is extremely beneficial for lots of people. And I don't mean a very complicated tantric sadhana of the Panchatattvas. Yes, for those who are capable, you can do that, no problem. But for a lot of other people, even a sattvic engagement of the Tara mantra can bring some benefits to the Upasaka. There is no doubt about it. I've seen that in many, many cases by now, especially when doing the 16th Thursday sadhana. Only caveat I will mention here in this, that you follow the instruction as I have mentioned. Do not aim to do a 1 lakh japa. Do exactly the amount of japa I have mentioned. Number two, this sadhana is more suited for people who have been doing the 16th Thursday sadhana of Maa Tara that I have mentioned. For them and those who feel a strong contact with Maa Tara, they should do this sadhana. If you have not done the sadhana of Maa Tara at all ever, any sadhana of Tara, and then suddenly jump into it, I would recommend that preferably you do the Durga sadhana, then the Tara sadhana. But for people who have done Tara sadhanas, or those few whom I personally guide and who have done few lakhs of Tara japa, they would be immensely benefited if they can do this sadhana of Tara, because you are already in contact with that mantra shakti, so it will get more boosted in this time. Regarding the time when the japa has to be done, you can do it during daytime. You can do it at night after 9. That's perfectly all right. But remember, you start with the Bhairava mantra 3 times. And when you do it, you pray to Bamakhapa, you pray to Bhairava that may his blessings help you to complete the sadhana successfully without any kind of obstacles. And may his strength guide you in the sadhana. So with that, I think I will end this video. And I hope it's beneficial to everybody. And I hope you are able to do the sadhanas, and these in time will build a strong spiritual current which will show its benefits in the coming years. As you keep doing these sadhanas more and more, it will reshape your life, both in the material aspect, because which is material aspect of life is nothing but a product of your own karmas, and also open up the spiritual path for you. We are in difficult times, no doubt, but these are the times when spiritual progress happens fastest among all times. So, in that sense, these are also very lucky times. I hope I hope this is useful for everybody. Jai Maa Tara, Jai Maa Kamakhya, Jai Bhairava.